First story is titled, Am I the a-hole for medically tattooing my child under the recommendation of a doctor? Hear me out. I, 31 female, and my husband tried for 5 years to get pregnant. Testing eventually revealed I have eggs of freaking steel, and without medical help, I'll never get pregnant. So that's what we did. Gave our samples, 1 petri dish, and 9 months later, I have 2 beautiful fraternal twin boys. Jack and Adam, fake. Thing is, Jake has a condition. Without going into detail, requires a shot once a week. Once he is older, he can take pills. I went back to work and mother-in-law offered to watch the babies. She's wonderful. I trust her 100%. They were 9 months, now 16 months. During this time, she would give us injection as we had a schedule. 10 a.m. before snack and nap. Worked very well until a month ago when she gave the shot to the wrong kid. Now they may be fraternal, but they look identical. I'll be honest, my husband and I even mixed them up sometimes. Everyone does. She immediately noticed her mistake, called 911, and they were transferred to the hospital. By the time I got there, Adam had been given the reversal agent, and they were both happily sipping on juice, loving the attention. We went home the same night, told to push fluids. He was never in danger. It's a very slow-acting medication that at worst would have given him diarrhea in a few days. Mother-in-law was beside herself. I tried to ease her worry, but she refused to babysit, so to daycare they went. This daycare has a nurse, cause some of the kids have medications, so she knew what to do, but the worry of mixing up the kids was a valid concern, and they would not keep name tags on. Doctor recommended a medical tattoo. Explained they tattoo a freckle, no bigger than the end of a pencil eraser, on an area of skin that's easily seen while the child is under mild sedation, similar to dental offices. Because of the area, it usually fades in 2 to 3 years, but by then, they should have developed more personal features and may not need it redone. So after discussion with my husband, we did it. He has a 2mm brown freckle on his earlobe. From entering the office to leaving, it took 30 minutes. Never felt a thing. Mother-in-law lost her crap the second I mentioned a medical tattoo. I tried to explain, but she just freaked out, so I put both kids on the floor and told her to pick up Jack and find a tattoo. She picked up Adam, so I handed her Jack, and after 20 minutes, still couldn't find it. Stripped him to his skivvies. I finally pointed it out, and she went, "That's just a freckle." I just said my point exactly. Adam doesn't have a freckle there, so that's how daycare can tell them apart. She's still pissed and ranting. Once I explain to others and they fail to find it, they understand, but they still think I went too far in tattooing my child and altering their body. I believe I took the necessary precautions recommended by the doctor, and that the tattoo will fade with sun exposure and as he grows. By the time he's 5, it probably won't even be visible, or it'll just look like a faded freckle. So, am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole at all. It's literally a fake freckle. It's not like you gave him a full sleeve of pin-up girls and muscle cars. Also, it's to make it harder to accidentally end him or his brother. You made the right call. Although now I'm kinda curious to see a toddler with that sleeve. Not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. You took the recommendation from a medical professional and made a decision with your spouse for the safety of your child. Absolutely nothing wrong with that, especially for something so small. Medical procedure recommended and performed by a medical professional. That's really all I need. Not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. The tattoo is for the safety of both children. It's a medical tattoo, just like they do for radiation treatments. Exactly. I have 3 tiny freckles tattooed from getting radiation and they're not a big deal. Hurts like hell because they're on my ribs, and I forget I even have them. I'd argue that it wasn't my choice either, in a way, as it was just sprung on me as a surprise at that appointment. And unless I want my cancer to come back, I had to go along with it. Not the a-hole. The next story is titled, Am I the a-hole for dramatically running away from an intervention my mother-in-law threw for me? Husband, 28 male, and I, 28 female, live in Colorado. We love beer, and we live an active lifestyle, hiking, snowshoeing, skiing. No beer hits like a beer after climbing a 14-year, and I love a glass of wine in the bath on a lazy Sunday afternoon. My mother-in-law loves to clean her kids' houses as a gift quarterly. This works because we're notoriously lazy deep cleaners. This is important. A week ago, she asked to meet her at the park. I showed up to find a bizarrely socially distant group of my in-laws waiting for me with a box. She started saying, "Kaylee, this is an intervention. We're here because we love you," etc. It was awkward and I got nervous. She opened the box and showed 3 empty bottles of wine and 2 full bottles of wine, plus an empty 16-ounce beer can. She looked at me pityingly and said, "Sweetie, I found your stash. I know you have a drinking problem." I was caught off guard and looked at the pile and it clicked. A few months ago, the bathroom sink backed up and we were rushing around trying to clear things for the plumbers to take care of it. I must have shoved my empty wine bottles in a shower beer can in my closet. The full bottles were purposely hidden because they were going to be Christmas gifts for my husband. I tried explaining everything and she put her hand on my shoulder and said, "I know it's hard to accept you have a problem, but everyone here is here because we love you. Look, I drink a beer with dinner or after work a few times a week, a beer or 2 at a brewery, not lately, obviously, with friends, and occasionally have some wine while taking a bath. I haven't even had a hangover since college." Then, she smashed the wine bottles that were for my husband, saying it's for my own good. I started yelling at her that they were presents. She just looked me in the eye and did it again. So I ran back to our house sobbing. She called/left messages saying I can't hide from my problem and that she would be talking to my husband about sending me away for detox. She was tired of me hurting everyone by forcing my choices on everyone. That is, not giving her grandkids, the one sore spot between us I thought she'd gotten over. She didn't explain to my husband what the stash was, just that she found one, and he turned on me for running away from the intervention, saying that made me look guilty as hell. I felt so alone. The issue became that I made myself seem guilty by running. My husband understands what happened now, but he's told me that I need to find a way to put it all behind and maybe just not drink around his family for a while. I don't agree. I'm not going along with this. Fine, I won't drink around his family, but I'm not apologizing for running away when I felt scared and cornered. And I'm absolutely not copping to a drinking problem when I don't have one. Am I the a-hole for not just going along with this to make everyone happy? I feel like I'm going crazy. Now for the top comments. Couple things. 1. Interesting and telling that she threw an intervention without your husband involved. That means she knows it's shady. Or it means something else, which is both crappy and shady. 2. Why assume that stuff was yours? Why not her son's? Why not both of yours? 3. That loves to clean her kids' houses is a trap. She's snooping. It's an excuse. I've heard it many times. Not the a-hole for sure. Yet, I would start asking some questions if I were you. 3 is so true, and what my first thought was too. It's guaranteed so she can snoop. Not the a-hole, and I'm surprised Opie's husband isn't angrier with her mom for this mess. I wouldn't apologize. 2 bottles is hardly a stash. She's just way out of line. She could have asked you privately about it, but jumping to conclusions and involving the whole family is just a jerk move in my opinion. Talk to your husband about how you feel alone and wrong to see what he has to say. The mother-in-law is just ridiculous for blowing this out of proportion. And smashing wine bottles at a park. I mean, WTF? Not the a-hole. That's incredibly toxic, and it's going to be a long road to come back from being so betrayed and gaslit. Your husband should be supporting you, not allowing her to intervene in your marriage that way, and you both should move away from her, or at least turn down her offers to help in the future because it's just cover for snooping. How did you know that wasn't your husband's stash? Oh, that's a good thing to point out. We have 2 different closet areas and 2 bathrooms, and the one with the wine/beer can was near my bathroom where all my clothes and stuff were. So she could have known for sure it wasn't his, but I guess it made geographic sense. Now for the next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to drive the vehicle my husband traded my car in for after he claimed he thought I was pregnant? Back when I was 18, we bought a car together, an Audi TT. We bought it for me as he already had a vehicle. Where he is 2 years older, his name had to be on the lease because his credit was far better than my non-existing credit, but all payments were made by me and I bought it outright within 3 years. We are now 26 female and 28 male. Now this car has always held a special place in my heart. I don't know why, other than the fact that I'm a sentimental girl and this car represented the first big move him and I ever made together. Probably stupid, but anyways, I was just in love with this freaking car. His name remained on it because we never felt the need to just switch it over to strictly me. Obviously, I should have done that, which I realize now. For 2 years, he has been harping on me about trading my car in for a family vehicle. We both want kids, though trying for any has never been discussed. So I always carried the same tune about it. When I get pregnant, I will trade in the car or just get a new vehicle and store my car in our unused garage. 3 weeks ago, we were trying out a new strain of edibles, and it quite literally knocked us on our butt. During this, we apparently discussed him thinking I was pregnant and that he felt it was time to turn the car over for a family vehicle. I don't recall this conversation, but we have hidden cameras, which I watched, and I did in fact agree to it and even said that I thought I may be pregnant as well. I don't know why the hell I said that because I don't think I am. Anyways, my car was due for a routine check, and I had to work that day, so I took hubby's car while he took my car for our appointment. When I got back home, my car was gone, and a 2019 Subaru Forester was sitting in its place. This is the vehicle we agreed on getting in the event of me becoming pregnant. I lost my crap. Hubby is all excited and showing me the car, and yes, it's freaking nice, but he still traded in my car over one discussion we had while we were messed up and hardly verbal. I told him I won't drive it, that I was disgusted that he took that one moment and applied it without discussing it further with me. He says I'm being an a-hole because I already agreed. Am I the a-hole? Just to make it clear, he was equally as messed up as I was that night, if not more. Now for the top comments. Not an a-hole. He was looking for an excuse to force you into family mode sooner. He took that conversation as gospel and acted on it, without clarifying it with you at all. Why the hell would he think he can do that after one high chat? And especially when you added a caveat of storing the Audi and keeping it. He took your car. I'd be mad too. Tell him to get it back, or you're going to key up the new car and slash its tires. I mean, it's now your car, right? You can do what you want. OP, I'd be watching your birth control like a hawk, from here out too, because it looks like he's decided it's time for you to get pregnant. Not an a-hole. You can call the dealership. If you explain what happened, they might be willing to let you trade back. Expect a fee though. Either way, I'd sell the new car and tell him to get over it. He can't make unilateral decisions without you. I'd rethink this relationship. This is a let's for e-kids now move. This is a look at what kids with him will look like. When someone tells you who they are, believe them. Go back to the dealership today and see if you can get your car back. Not an a-hole. Your husband is a jerk. Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole for giving back my dead friend's army possessions to his family, not his ex-girlfriend? My friend passed away from an overdose on December 10, 2019. 5 days' time, it will be the first anniversary. His ex waited 6 hours to call an ambulance while he died on her couch and failed to save his life in a lot of people's eyes. She asked me to hide all his army possessions from the family so they couldn't take them from her. I'm talking army helmets, badges, medals, hats, maps, manuals, very intimate stuff. She is a full substance addict. I reported her to child safety months ago, and months ago she asked for some of his stuff to pawn presumably for D's. I talked her out of it. Me and some friends went to his funeral. It was a full Australian Army funeral as he was a commanding officer. I've had a falling out with her. She wants his stuff back. However, I decided based on her not calling an ambulance for 6 hours and wanting to hawk his stuff, to contact his family and return it to them. I spoke with the parents last night. They were eternally grateful. They cried. They said they thought we'd never see this stuff again. I cried with them and for them. I feel bad for not giving her back his possessions, but don't feel like she deserves them. Edit. The brother came this morning and collected the belongings. Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. I don't know how Australia's laws work, but for my country, a girlfriend isn't entitled to a single possession of a deceased boyfriend. Girlfriends here aren't entitled to property unless it is a de facto couple where the girlfriend can get property that was shared. So as a bottom line, no, she wouldn't have a claim to the boyfriend's army gear. Not the a-hole. Did he even will anything to her? The family members are his heirs. They should have his things. They also have a lot more sentimental attachment to the items than someone who wants to pawn them. No will was written. But the conversation I had with the parents last night is that my friend wanted his possessions put into an army museum. And that's the end of this video, folks. As always, leave a comment and hit like and subscribe. And if you want more of this content, turn your notification on to get updated on the latest videos. And I'll catch you with the next one. Stay safe.